Welcome to a quick sharp review of Akane-banashi. I'm going to be talking a bit about the physical release of this book. I'm going to be talking a bit about the story itself, and then lastly what music I'd recommend listening to while reading it. So we've got 3 volumes released so far in my region anyway. Volume 4 is coming soon. Each cover has the main character, Akane, on the front, and then some of the side characters who appear in the series. I've got this cool color palette sort of thing going on here. So these pastels that are sort of, I don't know what you call that, gradient into other colors. And that is here on the spines as well, which I think look pretty cool. I haven't seen series do this before. Like, you know, we do see a lot of different colored spines, but ones that sort of have this pastel-y gradient stuff, I quite like it. And so far just Akane, and I think she's on every cover, so I'm expecting that to be the same picture that is of her, which is fine. And then on the back we've got pictures of some of the side characters and then their names there. A big blurb on the end compared to some series. This is pretty much just standard Jump quality in terms of the book release. They do have, in the second and third volumes, they've got the character thing and the look at this story so far stuff, which is pretty huge. But you know, I like this stuff because I often, between releases, I forget what's going on, so this is always good. Also, they've got I think in this one, or it's the first one, they consulted with some experts about some of the information from to inform this manga. So there's this interview here, which I imagine was in the original manga. So Akane-banashi is one of the newer titles in Jump. It's sort of become one of the pillars in Jump. It's here to stay. I think everyone can sort of agree with that because it ranks fairly highly within the Weekly Shonen Jump lineup in the table of contents. And lots of colour pages, so it's quite popular domestically. And starting to get some popularity here, or in the Western world as well. I will just mention that the first page of each of these is just the same cover in black and white, which is whatever, it's neither here nor there. Akane-banashi is a story about rakugo, which is a traditional Japanese sort of one-man show, telling sort of storytelling part, stand-up comedy routine. I'd never been had any exposure or experience with rakugo before reading this series, so I wouldn't let that deter anyone who goes, I don't think I'm going to get the cultural references. Honestly, the way that they portray the stories in this are really easy to get. You know, you see you know, someone telling the story and they're playing all the parts. So one of the features is it's like, I can sort of, the people who are watching it can see what's going on, they can hear, and they can believe that these people are in front of them. So we often see the story depicted in that way. And so you get these cool images that really depict what's happening with the action. Really, this plays out like a sports manga. And I would say the closest thing so far, I've just read these 3 volumes, but it reminds me a lot of Bakuman, a lot of that same sort of vibe as that, in that it's sort of like a sports manga, but it's doing a specific type of cultural art, but there's competition, and I haven't really read anything like this before. I really enjoy it, and Akane is a really cool character. She's like got a lot of attitude. She's quite motivated. She's, I guess, not a really classical Jump protagonist because, I mean, she's female. We don't usually get classic female Jump protagonists, but she, I guess, acts in some ways like them, in the same way that she's got a dream and she wants to fulfill that. And she's funny, but there's just a lot of interesting stuff going on in this manga, and I'm excited to read more. You sort of think, how much can they do about this same topic, but the story has been going in surprising directions, and having these little mini arcs that keeping you invested in her progress and what the other people around them are doing, and yeah, you always sort of wonder what more can you do with this concept, and it's continuing to surprise me. So really exciting series. I'm looking forward to reading more. I'd recommend reading or listening to a playlist that basically will emulate sports manga or Bakuman. So I'm putting together a bit of a playlist. I'll put the link in the description, but it's basically for like a realistic setting manga. So things where like the day-to-day life is pretty low key, and even the high stakes are not super like high stakes anyway. It's all fairly confined, but you feel those feelings when you're in the moment. So I'll put that in the description. Let me know what you think of the series. I think it's probably one of the better things that's in Jump at the moment, or one of the better new series within the last few years. Yeah, let me know. Thanks. Bye.